Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 1st to the 15th, 2023 reading for you. Now, before we begin this reading, I would like to announce that I am open to private readings. So if you would like a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or an animal healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. And and it's also linked in the description box below. Now, if you guys could also give this video a like, comment, and subscribe, I would be forever grateful. It's helping me get out of YouTube algorithm purgatory where I've been sent since I had to take time off to take care of sick family members. So thank you so very much. You guys are absolutely amazing. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Three of Swords reverse. We are going to be releasing a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain, and a lot of disappointment. There is also a release of fear that's coming during this time. And I know it sounds so good. It's like, why do I have to be mindful of this? Because Spirit is telling you that what once weighed us down, we're starting to break away from. And as we break away from it, as we step into ourselves more and more, or step into confidence and competency within ourselves and within our life path, we can be overwhelmed. We can find that certain things come our way to try and pull us back down, to try and stop us. Or to try and make us doubt ourselves again. Just be aware of that energy during this time. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is evolve. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. We're stepping out of darkness and we are evolving. And that's just going to be a very powerful thing for us. We feel like we are finally getting our wings, or we feel like we've shed wings that were broken or torn or battered and bruised, and now we're stepping into and able to fly for ourselves, able to embrace what we love, what we want, what's important to us. We're stepping into a new phase of our lives, and it's exciting. And it doesn't matter your age. I know that some of us, when we hear this, we're like, oh no, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that. It's like, no, stop it. Stop taking away or pushing away gifts that are coming forward for you. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So if you're born on the cusp with Cancer, or you have strong Cancer in your chart, that's going to come through very, very powerfully during this time. Work is really going to be leading us in the first half of August. Even if we're on vacation, even if we're, having fun, we're going to be really focused on the details. And our mind keeps on wandering to new opportunities, new, kind of ways to, I'm just seeing like branching out, but it's being really focused on the details during this time. That's going to be very important for us. We're also astoundingly hardworking. We get the job done very, very well. And we also, again, we look at the details. We're not producing things that, first of all, we're not proud of, but mainly that it's well thought out, is what Spirit keeps on saying. It's like, you're proud of this, it's well thought out. Keep on moving forward, keep on producing, keep on going. That's going to be very important. This can also be a time where it's all work and no play. That will be so easy for us to just get into work. Everything has to be regimented, everything has to be just so, just so, just so. I'm just seeing wooden soldiers all lined up. So just be aware of that we can really get into a very focused, very, kind of, it has to be just like this type of mentality. Also, the number 8 brings that forward. It's like, it's a little bit too analytical. It's a little bit too strict. So just be aware of that. And I love that we move from the number 8 to the number 7. And we have the repeat of the number 7 here, which brings us this beautiful connection with spirit, with what we desire in life. It's also a number of truth. It's kind of like we have to be speaking truth. And if we try to get away with anything, if we try to be even a little bit sneaky, it comes right back to us. So just be aware of that. The number 7 can be annoying when it comes to that sort of energy. With the Chariot, we're reining in a lot of wild emotions. So we're reining ourselves in. We're really seeing what we want. We're very focused. Movement is going to be very important for us. Movement in work is going to be tremendously important to us. So be aware of that as well. But we're going after what we want. We're looking at the bigger picture. We're focusing. We have an inward desire for things, something that we wouldn't share with other people. That's one part that's driving us. Our shadowed self, we can call it that. I don't see it necessarily as negative, which usually the shadowed self is something that we are embarrassed of, or a part of ourselves that we don't think could ever see the light of day. I'm not seeing that, but it's more like our personal goals, our personal desires, that which makes up our shadow, but that which also makes us, bigger than we are. Think of the shadow when we're walking in the sun, and the shadow can be so big and we're much smaller than it. So we have these grand plans driving us forward. And then we have what's in the light of day, how people perceive us, how we perceive us, what we show people. That's also going to be part of what's driving us forward. And we're reining them both in so that we're very unstoppable during this time. We're very productive, pragmatic, determined. We're also, again, reining in our emotions. So this is going to be a time where we could have felt like our emotions were everywhere, or we just felt overwhelmed. Yeah, we felt overwhelmed because there was a sense of not having a firm hand with the way that we wanted to move forward. And everything was just kind of like wiggly niggly. Like it's all like just all out there, all moving. And so we had to rein it in. We had to pull it forward. The 7 of Wands, be very mindful. We're kind of in fight or flight mode. So either, right, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And with the 7 of Wands, we can really be saying, well, I have to fight for this. I have to fight and move this forward. We can find that we're like, well, it's just another fight. I just have to get ready for it. Be mindful when that energy comes forward, because we don't need another fight. We don't need a fight. This is also an energy that will pull away from our concentration, our focus, our determination, what we really want to achieve, because this is the energy of I'm going to fight, or I'm going to prove to people, or people have to see what I'm seeing or understand, the way that I'm looking at things. And they don't. And a lot of them aren't going to. Don't waste your energy. The 7 of Wands tells us, stand for what you believe in, stand in your power, stand in your truth, but don't waste your time on people who won't get it, who won't see it, because it's just not worth it. It then leads us to Judgment. Now, this can be a time where we're judging ourselves, so do be aware of that, or we feel highly judged by others. But this is also a time where if we calm ourselves down and we center ourselves and really look at what we want, we're going to hear our angels calling us forward out of a box, out of a certain narrow way of seeing things. And it's like, if you can open up the door, there's tremendous bounty waiting for you. So being aware of needing to move forward this way, needing to go after what we desire, spreading our wings, there is this real sense of empowerment, emboldened, determined, focused, insightful energy coming forward. We're looking at things and it's like we're on the precipice of something so much greater. And we're starting to take that all in. We're coming out of a time that was rather dark. I see it as lined in gray. So when you're remembering something and it's happy, it's always bright, right? It's always bright, it's always shining, even if it was a rainy day. But if you're remembering something and it was negative, it always has like that sepia lens through it, it always has a little bit of dulled colors or grayed or browned, So here it's coming out of that time of like being in storm clouds and really stepping into a time of, yes, I can move forward. Yes, I'm evolving, I'm being reborn. And that's what this time can really feel like for us. We're having a bit of difficulty, and this is interesting with the High Priestess reversed. We're having a bit of difficulty pulling back the veil from our eyes. Now, it depends on where we are in our journey. I myself am a Gemini, so when I see the High Priestess reverse, it's like, oh, well, that's interesting because I work in that High Priestess energy. So here, it's like there's a resistance to going deeper into what others cannot see. And so it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. It doesn't matter if you're just starting to tap into your esoteric self or your spiritual self, your psychic, your empathic, intuitive self. There's a resistance to it. There's a sense of feeling overwhelmed by it. You can be getting a lot of information coming at you, and there can almost be a sense of like, I'm shutting down, like, can't do this, don't want to do this type of deal. So be aware that the veil is being lifted from our eyes and we're kind of pulling it back down. I'm not quite ready for this. So understanding that spirit is opening up the door, giving us deeper information. There's a very strong connection here with our angels and with our spirit guides coming forward. Also with those who have passed, okay? Yeah, with those who have passed, their angels guiding you. One who used to not color their hair, okay? Just, they didn't, and one who did color their hair. That's what spirit said. As I looked at this card, it's like one colored their hair, one didn't color their hair. And they are right there with us. They're kind of like shouting in our ears at times, a little bit frustrated with us for not always listening or for not listening. So be aware. If you get like a sudden feeling of being cold or a sudden feeling of being warm, that temperature change, usually it's being cold, is spirit connecting with you. So just be aware of that. It can be disconcerting, it can be, but it's also a very powerful sign that spirit is around you. Angels, spirit guides, past loved ones are trying to connect with you. The High Priestess reversed is us resisting going to a deeper level. And spirit's like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of seeing, of knowing, of embracing? It moves us to the Page of Pentacles, reverse, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We really don't want to learn any more lessons, on this earthly plane. It's very funny. It's like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I know enough. I'm perfectly happy right here, right now. But we're going to be diving a little bit deeper. There's also a sense of what seeds do you want to plant? How do you want to move things forward? What are you going after for yourself? There's a deep sense of learning during this time. So a lot of knowledge is coming your way. A lot of insight, a lot of ideas are moving you forward. There is a sense of doors opening, okay? But again, we're a little bit resistant to having to embrace that student energy. And that's also with the High Priestess, where we're a little bit resistant. It's like, okay, if I'm diving deeper into this spiritual path or into this knowledge, the veil being lifted from my eyes, and always, whenever the High Priestess comes up, there's one layer lifted away, but it's like a cocoon. It's like, that soft gauzy, layer before us. And so one layer gets pulled away and there's a zillion more, kind of like baklava, right? It's all flaky layers. So here, there's that sense of one layer we can be at different stages, right? To have to pull it away. And what we're going to see here is that we're resistant to the learning that it's going to require. So during this time, to dive deeper into our spiritual selves, we have to be open to being a student, be open to connecting. This is also Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in our chart. Wherever that energy shows up, if it does show up, we can have a resistance there, a little bit of a blockage moving us forward at this time. There is also a sense of not connecting. You have to make time to connect, to meditate, to do qigong, to step into your power, your instinct, yourself, because that's going to teach you so much more than you could ever imagine. So just being aware of that. We also have a bit of difficulty with a Earth sign energy, again, who is a student who has a lot to learn, but is unwilling to learn, who is unwilling to listen. The Fool. We're starting a whole new journey. We're moving forward in a fantastic way. We're afraid of being foolish. We're afraid of being judged by others. We're afraid of people looking at us and laughing. Let them laugh. Let them look. This is a new dawn. This is a new day. and we're stepping into our new power. So let yourself shine. If you leap, with the Fool always, if you leap, you will fall, right? You will. You will stumble, you will fall, you will get overwhelmed by things. That's okay. That's part of the Fool's journey. And remember, no one ever started their hero's journey. No one ever became a hero without first being mocked as a fool. So be the hero in your life and know that they'll mock you, and it's okay. Go after what you desire and what you want. There's a need to connect with the heart chakra, also with the heart energy in Qigong. There is also a need here to see what aggravates you, to understand your anger and step into it more, not in a violent way, but in a way of, okay, this is what annoys me. Why? This is what frustrates me. Why? These people aggravate me. Why? We're stepping into that energy of why, because I am releasing now. I am releasing a lot of the anger, the hurt, the pain that had defined me before. And as we do that, we let our heart shine. As we do that, we can also make ourselves more vulnerable to the attacks of others, because we're like, no, I'm moving out of that heartbreak, that pain, that disappointment. I'm moving out of that anger. And the lower energy vibration of the world is like, no, I want to pull you down. I want to pull you down. I want to keep you small. I want to keep you silent. So just be aware of this. Be aware of this. And also, you have during this time, you have spirit with you most definitely, but animals that have passed, they're right with you. Also, an animal in your life, right there by your side. You're going to find that you're a little bit of an animal whisperer during this time. You have this beautiful connection with them. But the animals who have passed, right there with you during this time. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, we're releasing a lot of worry. But in releasing a lot of worry, we can be worried, right? Aren't I supposed to be worried about this? Aren't I supposed to be obsessing over this? Aren't I supposed to be held back by this? The Nine of Swords reverse is we're releasing worry that keeps us from having good night sleeps, that keeps us from embracing our voice. Here I really see our throat chakra shining forward. It keeps us from embracing our voice, what we desire, what we want, what we need. And that's going to be really important. Also from seeing our life path. We were so worried. Are we doing it right? We forgot to ask, Spirit, what am I supposed to be doing? Or how am I supposed to be connecting? Our subconscious spirit message is spiritual reversed. We need to step into the spiritual. We need to be filled by spirit. We're a little resistant to that during this time, and that's okay. But knowing that it's time to fill our spirit, it's time to connect with our soul, it's time to embrace and embody what we love and what we want, that's going to be a very big thing for us. Fill your spirit, fill your cup. Remember, you need a gallon to fill a cup. So fill your gallon. Keep on filling yourself up. Our subconscious tarot message is the Four of Swords. Honor your story and rest. Subconsciously, you need to rest. You need to honor everything that you've been through, and you need to honor yourself. So that's going to be a huge thing. But rest, slowing it down, making certain priorities, really sitting there and saying, this is a priority for me, slowing it down, taking care of yourself, and honoring, again, your story, who you are, and everything that you've been through that has made this story. The best stories aren't the ones that are happy-go-lucky, everything works out great. They're the ones with a bit of grit in them. They're the ones where you can't always guess the twists and the turns. Those are the good stories. Your life is a good story, and that's powerful. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and stay safe. Bye.